Do you know what I have in common with about 17,000 other students at St. Petersburg College? I'm an adult learner, also referred to as a non-traditional student, and we are at a higher risk of not completing our degree programs. Our team research revealed that the non-traditional students face unique obstacles versus traditional students. And success can increase for the non-traditional students if they have the supportive resources and tools geared towards life balance to help them. I, along with my team members, are going to talk to you today regarding life balancing for the non-traditional students, our research findings, and our solution to the problem. My name is Heidi Curtis, and I'm going to start by giving you some background and identifying the problem. David Green is going to talk to you about causes of the imbalance. Brittany Flores will talk about possible strategies and solutions. And then Nicole Ashlock will go over our chosen solution, the implementation, and how we would measure success. So how can we put information concerning tools, strategies, resources for life balancing into the hands of the non-traditional student? First, let's get a better picture of who these students really are. According to the National Center for Education Statistics, they are individuals who are 25 years old or older attending school. They make up 38% of the undergrads in the United States, and this number is expected to increase by 6% over the next 5 years. The latest enrollment statistics available for St. Petersburg College shows that there are approximately 17,000 of these non-traditional students. That equates to approximately 50% of the student body. Now, the college does not really discuss or characterize these non-traditional students, so we had to look at other colleges and universities who did studies on them to learn more about them. One such study was done by the West Virginia Higher Education Policy Commission. In their study, they showed the students to be 25 years or older. 88% of them returned to obtain new skills. 26% of them received financial aid from their employers. They worked full-time and attended school part-time. They had dependents other than a spouse, which could be children, or maybe they're a caregiver for a parent or someone. And they had lower post-secondary persistence and completion rates versus the traditional students. The Lumina Foundation for Education recognizes the non-traditional student as a diverse and complex set of individuals with divergent aspirations, levels of preparation for college, and degrees of risk for failure. Lumina says that the more non-traditional characteristics that apply to a student, the higher the risk for non-completion of the program. If you look at the adult typology that I've attached, you will see that if you have just one characteristic of the non-traditional student, you're at a minimum risk. But with each time you add more, you go up to moderate, high, and ultra high. As an example, I would fall into the ultra high. I'm older than 25. I work 45 to 50 hours a week. My drive time back and forth to work adds another 7.5 to 8 hours a week. I have continuing legal education requirements to meet. I have professional association responsibilities. I participate in the raising of my grandchildren, and I have 2 sisters that are battling serious illnesses right now. Well, it's a really big decision for someone like me and other adult learners to go back to school. We're met with a bewildering array of information, including assignments and research, and it requires new skills. And we have the pressure of balancing all of that along with everything else going on in our lives. But there's good reason to do this. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reports on jobs requiring bachelor's degree at the entry level. The list is long, but as an example, accountants, engineers, teachers, all kinds of managers and directors, fashion designers, interior designers, just to name a few. The benefit to a 4-year degree is clear. If you look at the Bureau of Labor Statistics employment projection chart that I've attached, shows that in 2013, people holding a bachelor's degree earned approximately $1,108 a week, while those with only a high school graduation, they earned $651. Furthermore, the unemployment rate for the person holding a bachelor's degree was at 4%, while the high school students was at 7.5%. You can see then that the non-traditional students succeeding in college is essential to them, to their families, to their communities. But with everything going on in their lives, they need some special assistance. And having the right information to strike a balance really is the key. So the real problem here is that these non-traditional students lack the information to achieve this balance, to be successful in school, and we need to make this information with tools and strategies and resources readily available to them so that they don't have to go out and try to research and recreate the wheel. St. Petersburg College has some very good programs that are directed towards the student body. Some of them may be helpful to the non-traditional student, but none of them are designed for that 50% of their student body. One of the programs they offer is an introduction to Pinellas County High School seniors. Wouldn't it be nice if they had a similar program for non-traditional students returning to school? And they also offer counseling through Baycare Health, which is really nice, but that's kind of reactive, where we want to be proactive and get the information to these people so they never need that type of counseling. So what if we do nothing to consolidate all this information and make it available to that 50% of our student body? There are consequences. First of all, I spoke about the higher risk bracket that we're in, and so that will continue. People won't get their degrees, they won't grow in their jobs, they'll be stuck at a certain level. I also talked about the income and unemployment levels. So there is a financial consequence. These people are only going to make so much money. They're going to make less than 4-year degree holders, and that's going to affect them, their families, and their communities. And finally, I talked about the 4-year degree requirement for certain entry-level jobs. Now, this is a consequence to the community because the employment pool is going to have fewer qualified people to fill these jobs. So I think that having a clear picture of what obstacles cause this imbalance is really helpful to the realization of what the problem is and the information that's needed in order to create a successful solution. Therefore, I'm going to turn the floor over to David to discuss those causes of the imbalance. Thank you.